Well, I'm Dan.
I'm Nick, folks.
Look away. And we
Together, we form
the Unpanderers. With this.
That's an S, folks.
Yep.
Plural unpander. Unpanderer.
Yep. We have to
Plural
warn you.
unpander.
Yeah, we have to warn you that we're illicit, and we
illicit. You got to be over 18 to listen to us.
We don't really mean anything, and it doesn't relate to anybody we know.
Nope.
Not even
These
us.
opinions aren't even ours.
No.
Nor our employers.
Yep. Please don't fire us.
Please.
Yeah. And what's our channel about, Nick? I'd like to know.
It's kind of about anything. It's like two friends connecting on a level that makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside. And you're not even our friend. Isn't that the best part? We don't even know you.
Yeah, we don't
That's
know
the
you.
best part. You don't know you at all. You could be a serial killer.
Oh.
That's where we'll stop.
Ooh, are you sure you don't want to transition into a topical topic there?
Well, no, I wasn't going to go with that. Although, what if a serial killer did subscribe to the channel? He was from Alaska, and he loved us, but he was also a serial killer. My sympathy would be skewed a little towards him. Like, let's hear him out.
I feel like we might lay out a plan to, do something to somebody, and then he might execute it, and they'd come back to us. Like, he'd try to pin it on us.
Would we be guilty at all?
How would we know? We wouldn't know.
No. What if they caught him and then, they were like, why did you kill? Yeah. No. He's in Alaska. He doesn't even know us. He's never made contact with us. But he loves the show so much that through hints in my podcast, he found out the guy who cut me off a few weeks ago, and he kills him. He's like, they probably would have wanted that. And now that people are like, why did you tell a story about that guy? He'd still be alive. And I'm like, I didn't do it. Am I culpable at all for telling the story?
No.
For creating such fervor in that man's heart that he murdered a stranger who bothered me?
That's like, if you had a superpower to will people to do what you wanted, which I think this is definitely this is Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones has that guy who can talk people into anything. So he has all these servants and slaves, and he makes them do their bidding, and then they...
Like asteroid?
Yeah, they snap out of it, and they're like, I don't know why I did that, and then they shoot him or arrest that person because they committed murder.
I feel like that's a real easy way to make money. I don't even know how, I just know you could.
Oh yeah, this guy was super powerful, super wealthy. It's a pretty good show. I'll plug Jessica Jones, because that first season was pretty great.
Actually, I don't know how the views worked on the last episode. I think she might have watched the last episode, right?
Oh, great.
Well, she might have. There's no way to know for sure.
What's her name? Something Ritter? I forget.
Yes. That's as far as I know.
Miss Ritter.
Miss Ritter, I think.
She's on Breaking Bad, too.
One of us is married. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't have a ring on this hand.
Oh, man. This guy. He's trying to get all the comeuppance. Trying to get them comeuppance?
Come on. Ooh, let's see what
comeuppance, get them, baby.
Let's see what we got. You want,
what's on the docket today, huh?
Do we have corrections from last time? I think I have one correction.
I did have one, and I forgot I didn't write it down. I was listening.
Yeah, it's okay. I think
maybe it'll jog my correction. Go ahead.
No, well, probably not. Probably not. I was talking about Indy 500, and I said 1896, which was before the Indy 500 actually started.
Okay, so it's probably wrong. That was probably wrong.
Yeah. Oh, no, that was definitely on my ass. So I'd like somebody to correct me, because I think it was after 1916, which is probably also wrong.
Correction for the next podcast is already here right now.
Continuous correction.
I do find one of the more interesting aspects of relative time, your hair,
yeah, it's got that spot right there.
It's not going to fix itself anytime soon. Relative time is an interesting thing where, if I think of my lifetime, when something happened in 1980s, it's important to me. I'm like, whoa, I was alive.
I was part of that.
Like someone, even though I was a baby or I didn't know it happened.
There's the air I breathed.
Right, but then if someone's like, oh, in '69 they invaded so and so, and then it was a bad war and everything, I'm like,
father.
Yeah, and I'm like, who cares? That was before anyone was around. It's just weird that that's where it starts, and then someone says the 1920s, and that might as well be the 1960s to me. Like, I know there's 40 years and a whole world of in between, but I'm like,
10,000
the only
BC.
difference, oh, that's where I'm going with this.
Huh.
So then you go back to like 1400, and I'm like, that might as well be 1600, and it might as well be 1200, and it might as well be 0. I don't give a shit. It's all before, way before me or anything like close to me. Like, no one I know, no one I know who knew, no one who knew I knew. Check that one.
But your DNA is in that person.
Oh, 100%. And it probably is, every year back then was just as important as every year now, right?
Yeah, and that person's impulses and emotions are probably the same that you have.
Which is real weird, because I think time passed like that for them. I'm like, yeah, like a couple million people died back in 84 BC. And then I'm like, did you hear yesterday the guy who got hit by a car? And like, it's a bigger deal because it happened in my life, in my time. It was near me. And it's just weird. I guess that's time relativism. I made that term up, but it's probably a real thing.
Relativism. I kind of like that.
Right? That's my word of the day, folks. Time relativism. It's time relative to yourself. And as you speed away, everything gets faster and faster and faster and faster until it doesn't mean shit to you. And that's the scientific terminology.
So I kind of saw the same thing. I kind of made the same realization in reverse about Pompeii. It was like Pompeii had people who died instantly, but they were encased forever. Right. So it was the first, in
the hugs, essentially. Like they were.
Yeah, they're hugging. There's some people that were.
It wasn't a selfie. This lava covered them. It was like a picture, not a selfie, a picture.
I don't know if it was lava. It was more like a plume of volcanic plasma.
Pyroclastic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What? Look at that. Look at that word.
Jocks for rocks, baby. I was a GO 107 or 207. That was a great course.
Ooh.
Wait, real quick story.
Okay.
I took rocks for jocks because I heard it was pretty easy, and I love that geology stuff. In college. I was senior or junior year. Need some electives. I just need some credits. Throw me them credits. And it was in one of those big classes, like 60 people, lecture hall, meet 2 times a week. And I think I saw the professor, and he was like playing Duran or something. And I was like, it just seemed odd that he played it before the class. And I was like, yeah, that's a cool Duran song. And he like took me to the side and he was like,
don't do it.
No. That's obviously Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Thank you.
That's not Duran.
Corrections for this podcast begin right now, and it was 5 seconds ago when Dan said, "Relax."
That's too far in the past, and I don't care about it.
Anyway, so the teacher said, my son used to play for Duran. I said, that's awesome. I used to. He died of, I think, some kind of cancer or something, but he was their bass player. And I said, oh, that's awesome. I play bass too. I love Duran songs, I said to him. I've never played a Duran song on bass, but I probably could have. He was like, what was your name again? I was like, it's Nick. And he wrote something down. He's like, all right, I got you, Nick. Thanks. Hey. And then, I skipped 5 classes in a row and just didn't go. And I showed up for the test. I think I did okay. I just remember I walked up to him at the end. And I was like, yeah, man, I've been looking up some of them Duran songs. They're hard to play. He must have been pretty good. And he was like, yeah, thanks. Anyway, I did not show up for any courses. I'm pretty sure I did bad on 2 tests, and I didn't do a project, and he gave me an A-.
Wow, that's pretty good.
And ever since, it worked in reverse order. I pretended I loved Duran back then to get the A, but now that I got the A, I'm like, I owe it to Duran. So I kind of looking through their videos,
you have to enjoy that
discography a little bit. Yeah, and it's almost like shout out to the ex-bass player. Thank you. I mean, and your dad's pretty cool. And I did come away with a pyroclastic flow. So
good. That was the one class that you went to.
No, I didn't go to. Oh, yeah, that course, yes.
It was on the test, and you're like, oh.
This is going to haunt me unless I know how to play bass for Duran.
Huh. Well, I was going back to about Pompeii. People were frozen in time.
I apologize.
And they can, they chop away at the volcanic rock and then show these places.
And ash.
And pyroclastic flows. And they have these, brothel. One of the things is, they have this pristine brothel back then. And it's a tiny little, smaller than my bedroom. But they have these little tiny,
a lot of similarities, huh?
little nooks. So where the I guess you'd call them PC word is the whores.
Bang.
Would be. And each one had their own little symbol, and they had like a notch, like for how many times they'd gone at it. So like some of them were really good. So they have more like, 5 out of 5. This is the greatest whore in this whorehouse. Like, it's like those people 1,000 years. I don't even know. This is probably wrong. 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago.
Several thousand years ago.
They still had the same basic human needs to
plow.
Yep. Thank you for filling my words.
Hit the old ham sack hard from behind.
Yeah, but it really
prone position.
Ooh. So they, it takes you back because you're like, wait a second, like these people were just as immature as we are. Like there's penises drawn everywhere, and it's just
the only symbol that will outlive us all and began before it all began.
The aliens,
the old rocket ship with balls. The aliens, literally, if you could somehow boil down every picture, painting, sculpture, everything, the most drawn thing might be a dick.
It might be a penis. I could see the aliens rolling their eyes like, culture.
But then in their background, there's totally like a 3-pronged sex organ that, they draw.
There's an amorphous blob where their crotch would be. And they're like, it's somehow, even though you can't draw it, it's drawn everywhere in their culture. That's the word of the day, by the way, amorphous.
Nice. Is amorphous ever before any word but blob? Go.
You could use it in front of anything, really. As long as you can't define it. So there was this cheeseburger.
An amorphous cheeseburger.
Yeah. There were these slices of cheese that were obviously different. So they put 2 different cheeses on the cheeseburger.
Nice.
There's ones that can be formed into shapes and kept in their shape, and other ones that just melt and become amorphous. They just an indescribable form.
Amorphous blobs of cheese is what you're gonna say. No, you are.
I'm not gonna say blobs.
You thought about it though. You were like, they were just these amorphous things of cheese.
The weird thing is that the cheese that can stay in slices, it doesn't taste as good as the amorphous cheese. The amorphous cheese is like pure fat, I guess. So it's like constantly changing form as it enters your mouth, and you're just like, that's good fat. It's delicious.
Man, that sounds like a sci-fi sex dream I had. Amorphous, getting in that mouth and just.
I bet it tastes. Your dream tastes worse than my burger. That burger is delicious. Oh, you got a knock.
Yeah, maybe you didn't tell me.
Oh.
What? Tom Petty.
Oh no, Tom Petty died.
Wait,
that's our next topic.
Yeah, he died.
Oh, I heard he went in cardiac arrest and had to go to the hospital. Anyway, this is real talk, folks. My least favorite artist on the radio, the old rock station, is Tom. No, he's my least favorite. I hate his guts. Tom Petty. I always wish the worst on Tom Petty.
Girl.
Please,
this is an ongoing argument between us.
Free falling, all of it.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. When I heard this news a few hours ago, I was terribly, terribly distraught. And someone might say, "Why? You hate Tom Petty?" No, because now he's going to be all over the airwaves for the next week or two.
You can't avoid him.
This is like the worst.
That is so mean.
Well, I don't want him to be dead. It happens regardless of my feelings towards him.
Are you wearing one white glove?
Are you
see Michael Jacksoning?
Yes, that's Tito right here.
It's Tito.
My Michael Jackson tribute.
It's her tribute to rock and roll and Michael.
Is that Tom Petty-esque with one white glove too?
I have eczema on my hands.
Oh, okay.
But thank you.
So I keep it covered.
Oh.
But
I know, it's cute, right? Can't imagine what the neighbors think.
Michael Jackson.
Do you like walk outside and start dancing?
So anyway, I love Tom Petty. And he hates Tom Petty.
Well, I told.
And I can't believe you didn't tell me.
I told Michelle, and then I didn't know he died. It's official.
So you just texted me Tom Petty.
The dog's really upset.
The dog's very upset at Tom Petty dying. That's how he is. Good old Oates.
I'm gonna go blast him.
Please do. Yeah. Free falling.
See, if you're Tom Petty and you knew you were dying, wouldn't you try to jump over a balcony or something so you could be
free falling? I think so.
Yeah.
If we keep this in the podcast, which I care less, notice that I was shook with terror for 2 full seconds.
You thought that white glove was going to right out at you?
Well, I was more worried that it was going to attack all my electronics or something. I was like, oh my God, what did I do? And I was like thinking, did I do something really terrible? And she's like, Tom Petty died. And I was like, that's the best news I've ever heard. And then I was like, oh, no.
That's like when my girlfriend calls me, or my wife. Either one.
Well, if your girlfriend calls you while your wife is there?
Yeah. My wife calls me, it's like something awful has happened. I know it. Because like more than 50% of the time it's terrible. Something terrible has happened.
You don't want to talk to your other if it's just regular day and you're having a good time. That would ruin everything, wouldn't it?
Yeah, skip right to a call, no text. You're like, oof. Oh. You start to sweat. You didn't even hear the word hello, and you're just like.
For the podcast, I've been wearing these shoes tied all day. I'm going to hit relax in about 1 second, folks.
Ooh. I could just feel the steam coming out of those fingers, man. Ooh. So is that your smile of the day right there? Your smile is taking the shoes off?
That's a smirk or smile. Let me tell you, folks. It's a little of both.
It's pretty good. I have a reverse smile.
Interesting. We call that a frown in some industries.
But that doesn't sound as good as a smirk or smile.
Or a reverse smile.
Yeah. So I changed offices, and I'm comfortable in the office. I have like a little nook. I changed everything around so the furniture's awkward, so people can't get behind me.
Any times you've been laid in there or whatever, right?
None, but that's maybe in the future.
Drawings of penis?
I'll wait 30 years or something, because then I could retire in a blast of glory. But so my previous office had a window, and I could see out of it, and I could see when it was raining. So I love rain, and I love like the weather and all that jazz, you know.
Right, you're a dark, brooding, horrible person.
You know, no rain. I love that. So this is kind of like working inside of a submarine, and I don't know anything that's happening outside of my little office because it's all encapsulated, and the walls are actually metal. For some reason,
that's pretty claustrophobic.
It's like cladding or some bullshit. So I walked outside to go to lunch, and it was pouring. And I go, damn it! Now I gotta walk back up to my office and get my umbrella. And I said, I just like had a little moment, like inside my body, I felt like a tear form. Even though your body's 75% water, I could feel the water just kind of come together and form a tear right in my heart. And I was like,
you were that distraught about having to walk back up or your office or what?
I'll never see rain again because I'm stuck inside that office until I retire.
Didn't we just do a podcast on the rain that destroyed your state?
Yeah, but I was fine. I'm sure other people, like, it starts to rain and they have flashbacks, but I'm just like, okay, that's fine with me.
Interesting. That's a pretty, I guess, upside-down smile.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It's deep.
Yeah, hopefully I can get out of that office, but hopefully the job's okay, because it's a different job.
Interesting.
Ooh. So,
jobs.
On to our next. Whoa! Wait a second. We gotta react to this situation or scenario here. You got a situation or scenario? Like,
yeah.
I do actually.
Go ahead. Maybe it'll jog my memory.
So imagine if nothing bad could happen to you. Nothing bad could happen to you specifically.
I'd have sex with everybody. I don't care. Yeah.
But so the question is really, how would that affect other people, and how would you feel about nothing bad ever happening to you?
Oh, in general. Oh, yeah. like your whole life?
Yeah, you could speed through a red light and you'd be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But other people...
like a luck thing. Almost like a luck thing. The opposite of cursed.
Yeah, exactly.
And, oh my God, we can make this a movie and call it #blessed. And what's ironic is you're like, oh, dude, this dude's blessed. He can do anything. But really, it turns out that that's the curse.
Yeah, it's like Final Destination for everybody else.
Not necessarily, but not blessed like you, obviously. So eventually they're going to get the bad end of the stick, as we say.
Yeah.
I guess eventually the movie, like most movies, I'm relating it to a movie, but it can be applied to real life because most movies are biographies, I believe. Kurt Russell in Waterworld. Ah, jeez, I said Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. What are you talking about? Escape from L.A.
Kurt. Yeah.
Kevin Costner in Waterworld.
Kevin Costner in Waterworld. No, Kurt Russell in Sky High, the kids movie. That's like really what he did for a day. Don't ask. In college, we used to get a university pizza. Cost $5 for a full pizza.
I think I had that pizza.
A full pizza. University pizza?
Slightly better than Ilio's?
Yeah. Okay, I was going to say worse, but it's about, slightly better. It was $5 for a whole pie. We would order them non-stop, but they would always come in the boxes for the movie Sky High, starring Kurt Russell.
Huh.
That's how I knew so much about that child's movie.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Just a little sidebar for y'all.
Yeah. So you want to expound?
Yes. Just on the movie premise. Sorry. I think this movie would start out great. He starts like not even wanting to really take advantage of it. He's like, I don't know, should I ask for a raise from my boss? And everyone's like nervous around him. He's like, I'm going to do it. And he asks for a $2 raise. And the boss is like, sure, why not? You're very plucky today, Joseph. And he gives him the raise. And he's like, ah! And then 10 minutes down the movie, he's wearing shades. And he's like walking into a place. He's like, can I have the watch for free? And they're like, yeah, you're the millionth customer. What coincidence? And he gets a free watch. It's like a Rolex. He's got his shades, his Rolex, he has his new money. He sees an attractive girl. He's like, you want to sleep with me? And she's like, yeah.
Yeah.
His wife kind of finds out, but she tries to sue him in court. And for some reason, all this stuff is exposed about her. Like she's I don't know, she doesn't pay her taxes and stuff. And the judge is like, I'm sorry, we're rolling in favor of him. And he's like, sorry. I win, I guess. I still win. Everyone's like, I think you're still going pretty good for him. And then, the next scene, he's like, damn, can't get an erection. Someone's like, I got these pills. And then, he gets all these pills. And you're like, this is weird. I guess he won that one, but why couldn't he get an erection? And then all of a sudden, he's, like you said, speeding through red lights, just trying to feel something. And all these other people are getting in car accidents. And he's like, I feel terrible. I'm fine. You know what I mean? He's getting out of tickets. He's like, please arrest me. Make me pay for my crimes. He's screaming, and they're like, this guy's crazy. Let's give him a TV deal. And he's famous. He's winning more and more money. More and more bad things are happening to people around him. And he's just screaming, pulling out his hair. And everyone's like, this guy, Joseph, is a genius. He's artistic. And now you're going insane, and people are donating money to you. And everyone around you is just falling apart, and you're getting more and more money and more fame, and you're like, ooh, the movie got dark. Didn't it?
For as much happiness as in that movie?
Anyway, and then, as he's screaming and, he's covered in blood, but it's not his own blood. Somehow someone else died right before he tried to kill himself, and he's covered in their blood. It just says, blessed. It's the hashtag blessed, rated R. Anyway, that's how I think it would be going. Starring Kurt Russell.
I think you do it. That should be our celebrity challenge, too.
Kurt? Oh, so are we setting it up?
Yeah, can he just pour fake blood on himself and then hashtag blessed?
I don't know if he's got the guts for it. You think he's got the guts for it?
I don't know.
Come on, Kurt.
He's been lackluster lately.
Wait, how... Kevin Costner versus Kurt Russell. It's a blood off.
Character?
No, who can blood off?
Who can look bloody better?
Yeah, who can look the bloodiest? Bloodierest. The more bloodierest, the most bloodiest.
That kind of favors Kevin Costner because he doesn't have to say anything.
Are you saying he's a bad actor? They're great friends of the podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we would accept both.
We would accept either.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
I like it.
Small tear.
Was it inside your heart, or is it finally
right there?
Finally moved it up?
I think it's slowly risen. It's slowly risen during the podcast to find its way up here.
Well, interestingly enough, while we're here at the Unpanders,
wow, I saw a little flicker of metal right there.
What do you think it was?
Oh, it was shiny. I don't know. I can't take my attention off of it.
Here at the Unpanders, we don't usually pander, but when we do get serious about something, it might be something like this.
Ooh.
It's Dolce & Gabbana light blue.
I can't even read that because it's so blurry. But I bought that camera, so it's not my fault. And hold it the other way because you...
Oh.
Right
Dolce & Gabbana.
Oh, fantastic. Look at that. Oh, it's reflective, too. Oh, man.
Anyway, this bad boy is made from, they've done a lot of scientific study on pheromones, This is literally supposed to go into the olfactory bulbs of your female friend. You know what I'm saying?
Olfactory bulbs.
Oh, right up in here, we got some sensors connect directly to the brain. The pleasure centers of the brain.
They connect down low.
Yes, they do. Erogenous zones, folks.
Oh.
Guys, tell your girls, look away. You buy this stuff. A couple sprays here, 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 a couple sprays up here, a couple sprays on the neck area, a couple sprays on your nipples, and a couple sprays in your woo-hoo, and boom.
Wow.
Let me tell you what. They're going to start crawling towards you on all fours like some kind of zombie movie. They're going to be covered in blood. They won't even be able to see straight. Their eyes are just caked over. They can't see. They're coming at you. They're coming at you. It's like old people, young people, underage girls, way too old women, this guy who looks like a girl. They're all crawling towards you, and they just can't control their bodies. Oh, my God. You're going to get some. You're going to get more than you think you could even get. This one's actually made with deer musk.
Oh.
Deer musk, it's some kind of arsenic. I mean, don't drink it, but it's beautiful. Make you smell like some kind of Greek god. And I'm telling you, don't wear it around your family unless you're into that. Anyway, folks, Dolce & Gabbana, light blue. Check it out. Yeah.
Wow.
For you.
Wow. That's pretty fantastic.
Just telling you. Look at my hair. Jesus, look what it did to me.
Ooh.
And I'm a guy.
Woo. Need some refractory time right here.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
I only need about 30 seconds, folks. I'm ready to go again.
Oh. Wow.
Up in the ante, aren't
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next topic then. We've already we're gonna cover with something I can't even remember. I'm so shell shocked, really. That was fantastic. Wow.
What's really awesome is you can't even smell through the speakers and the electronics here, but you can feel it
1,000 miles away. That's
clustered. Holy smokes! You just gotta breathe. You gotta breathe.
Something more than pheromones here, man. It's a vibe.
If you want, I can do a sidebar that I really actually firmly believe in. This is something new to me and something I'm way on board with. Sidebar. I listen to music more than you at home. This is a fact. You can't. And Dan, I apologize. Because I can listen at work, I listen at home, I listen when I work out, I listen when I'm just playing it. Whatever. No big. You froze.
I did not freeze. Just keep going.
Okay, I thought you were frozen. I apologize.
Stone-faced.
So I never paid for a music subscription. I illegally download all my music and put it onto an iPod. Hearsay.
Yeah, that's
I didn't say the name of a website or anything. No. Anyway. It's getting harder. I'm getting older. I don't have the time to do this. But I don't want to sign up for like Spotify or I don't know. I don't want to join any of these stupid things I don't get. Maybe I'm getting old. The other problem is I don't believe in the quality the song is when you get it from like these streaming websites. It's got to be like 96, maybe 128. Stop trying to mess with me. So I broke down and I paid for my first one. 30-day free subscription from Google. So now I can Google Music. I'm in. And I did a lot of research. It is free for 30 days, so whatever.
It's like YouTube, but better?
Well, the other cool thing is it came with YouTube Red.
Oh.
So I get both.
Wow.
What I used to do is watch all music, like Michael Kiwanuka. If I want to watch a Porcupine Tree, excuse me.
Yep.
But whatever. Whoever I want to listen to, I would usually Google it and then look for the video. Right. The problem with that is, A, the amount of bandwidth you're using for a video.
Oh, yeah.
And on mobile is like
turn
a
it down
bit
to
much.
144p. Make sure it's
right, and I never think to do that. Right. The other problem is battery. It's like the full screen is on. B, you can't minimize that. You know what I mean? Like if I minimize it or go to text someone or something happens,
it's all like SoundCloud.
No, not at all. SoundCloud's awful too. I hope they want to throw us money.
That's everywhere.
Oh, we love SoundCloud.
We'll pronounce the bad ways. That's
yes, we will always denounce. But all that was going on, and I was just like, battery, bandwidth, all my data is YouTube videos of literally listening to songs. So I did Google Music, and I friggin' love it. They have like the weirdest rare stuff I can find. Like I'm finding songs by Pliny. I don't know if anyone knows who that is. He's like a solo guitarist who does like ridiculous stuff. He has like a his own GoFundMe page type stuff. But like these are like guys who barely even have record labels, and I can find him and all his CDs. So then I was like, well, like I look for all the rarest stuff to make sure I'm getting my money's worth. Free 30-day trial. I looked up like Racer X, like some weird 80s guitar dude, Paul Gilbert. I'm finding his stuff. I'm like, okay, I have trouble finding some of these songs, so good. I looked up all my favorite rare stuff. And so far, I haven't not found anything. I even looked up for my dad. I added him to the plan because it's a family plan, and for 30 days, you might as well take advantage.
Brandy?
Oh, dude, 100% it'll be there. Guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
You're a fine girl. By Looking Glass.
Oh.
See? Don't think I don't. I listen to more music than everyone. I told you. But what I'm finding is just, I can minimize the screen. I just hit play all these guys. I can make my own playlists. I can import all my music if I wanted. I haven't done that because it's, I don't know, Google might figure me out. But I'm digging the hell out of it.
Google can predict your life.
Well,
the choices that you're making right now on their platform.
But I don't listen to the recommendations. Most recommendations for music is for amateurs.
You'll die at 50 without achieving your goals. And then it's like...
Well, there they might be on something. I'm just saying. But I love Google Music. I don't even care if they pay me. It's awesome. And when the time comes, I might pay $9.99 a month for it. How's that sound?
We'll see what happens when you have to pay money for it.
me in 28 days. I can't stand it. It's garbage.
It's terrible. Unbelievably awful. Why isn't this free? Forever.
33 cents a day? I don't think so. Did I do that right?
Yeah. I wish there was an X and you just click the X. Let's close this ad.
Boop.
So
sorry for my sidebar, but I love Google Music. Everyone do it for free.
It's weird because in college, one of our classes was neural networks, and one of the guys in class actually made a neural network to figure out what you liked, and he broke it down by like.
Does it work?
It actually did. It figured out like the different instruments inside of the music, and then broke it down by like rhythm and like
on
pitch and all sorts of stuff.
Pandora. I don't know if he ever worked on that eventually. Because do you know what he did years later?
He did not work on Pandora. I can guarantee that.
Okay, because Pandora has something where it'll say like
just floods Pandora though.
Right. Well, that might be more to do with who they have in the database.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They might not have access to everyone, so they have to give you whoever.
Yeah, they're not.
But they have a pretty sweet breakdown. It's like I noticed you like songs with minor tonality in the key of E with heavy percussive drums, and it's like, whoa, that was pretty deep. And it's like, you like things, and I'm like, I guess I do. Yeah, Pandora. What do you got? And then it's like, here's another Dave Matthews song, and you're like, it's not where I was going. I'll let this song finish.
This is a little awkward. I'll listen to
I'm not giving it a thumbs up.
I'll let you finish, but I'm not going to do it again.
That sounds like college for you, dude.
Wow. For me, yeah, I understand. So, you want to shift? You want to shift?
Let's shift the whole thing. Just move it on.
I'm kind of curious about double standards. Thinking about this lately.
What?
Double standards?
Double standards. They exist?
I definitely think so. I'm going to hit you up with a quiz to start, which is going to summarize everything.
Huh.
So I'm going to say you're going to say male or female, and I'm going to say like a profession or an act or something, and you tell me what you think like the most predominant person, male or female, would be in that role.
I'm bad with celebrities, but let's go.
Okay, homemaker.
Like, real bad.
Homemaker. What would a homemaker be?
Who's the? I'm confused by the question.
Thinking about
man or woman?
A man or a woman? Yeah.
I'm thinking about a man.
You're thinking about a male homemaker. Okay. All right.
Homemaker.
Oh, okay. Caregiver. A caregiver.
I'm thinking of a woman.
Okay. Athlete.
No offense, it is a man. Yeah, anyway, go ahead.
Breadwinner.
I think that's shifted. I was thinking man. Now I'm like...
Answer the damn question.
Man. Jesus Christ. Still, but it's getting damn close.
We'll get back to that. What about scientist?
It's a man.
Intellectual.
Man. I'm sexist.
What about spiritual leader?
Man.
What about like a group leader, like a manager?
Man.
What else we got? Writer?
Man.
You're such a sexist bastard. Reporter.
I didn't
Keep going. Reporter.
Woman.
Director. Now it's biased.
Man.
A muse.
Woman.
A lover. That's biased.
Man. Truth is out there, bro. Just got to connect those pieces. Good.
Okay, creator?
I'll say woman because I'm flipping a coin, and I haven't said woman more than like twice. So.
Yeah. And God.
Man.
Oh, okay. So
I'm thinking of a man. That doesn't mean I think he is a man.
That's true.
In fact, this is more about society than it does about me.
Plus, you're a guy, so it's like certain things are right. Meant to be biased in certain ways.
Right. I'm not saying women can't do these things at all. I'm literally the most woke person in this podcast.
I don't even know what that means.
See, folks?
I'm woke. But
I get lit.
Yeah. I think some of those things, a lot of the things are changing. So I think homemaker and breadwinner, that could easily
hold on. Do you think, so my answers were the society norm, what we've been, people our age group probably think of those answers the way I did, right?
Yeah, probably. And probably most of society does. Most of the world does.
Now, would you say at the time of this questioning that is actually accurate? Like, did you get some studies? Like, are more women actually... Jesus. So we don't know? Because I'd be curious to know right now more women are more women making homes, more women in position of management.
I would assume so because in
because I know it's
Muslim
changed.
Cultures, women can't even drive until recently.
Okay.
When they actually passed it in Saudi Arabia? Was it Saudi Arabia that they allowed women to drive for the first time?
This is going to be a big old correction.
Yep.
Yeah. I believe so. But what's funny is the joke I heard was they're finally letting women drive over there about 4 years before robot or cars drive themselves. Something funny. I ruined the joke. But anyway.
Oh, yeah.
What I do think, if I had to say the ones that are changing, I want to say God is a woman. Like, that's the new hot belief, isn't it? I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that in, different songs and different narratives.
What? Just the one song? What is it? Oh.
I can't even remember.
And tell me all your thoughts on God, because I'm going there to meet her.
Yep.
That's the punchline. Really hits you. That's the song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. 90s narrative.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The 90s were woke, man. We knew.
I feel like there's a Ocean Breeze Salty. Was that? Who sang that one? They have another song that has, his
two songs, folks.
His mom believed in a female god.
Okay.
And it's I guess for me, growing up Christian-ish.
Yeah, that's fair.
You never see female gods, which is weird. Which is kind of weird, huh? It's even the Last Supper, if you dig into, Da Vinci Code, they form, the chalice. They're always looking for, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Or no, Indiana Jones Temple. Indiana Jones and, I don't know.
Just say whichever one. We're going to
Last Crusade. Right? Yeah, correction.
The Last Crusade. I 100% believe it.
They're always looking for the chalice, the thing he drank the wine out of. But the chalice is actually supposed to be, the female womb. It's supposed to hold the cradle of life, which is not a cup, which is a stupid literal. Why would you look for a stupid cup?
Well, how about the you chose poorly or wisely? What is it?
Well, he does both.
Right.
There's the guy who turns into a skeleton and then melts as wax away. You chose
classic Indiana Jones.
That's awesome.
Now, do you think that guy could get a job at Gap?
Ilsa, no. Stop buying the shitty goods at Gap.
No. Do you think his skeleton body could get a job in retail? Is what I was getting at. I picked Gap.
He could probably fit into their clothes.
No, but would they let him work there? I feel like they're so everyone's body positive. It's anyone can work there, but it's bones. Are you gonna let him work here? Let's say a corpse did get reanimated. He really wanted that job. Well, what if he wasn't? Now what's your excuse?
He's just
hater.
Yeah. He's just pure bones.
Just disgusting. Yeah, it's like just a skeleton peering over you, asking if you found everything you wanted today, and you're like, I'll take my business elsewhere. Well,
I might actually prefer that because then they wouldn't have any like bad breath. They wouldn't have any body odor.
It might stink like hell, dude. Who knows what's going on in a skeleton?
They're completely dry.
I'm not going to disagree with you because I don't know 100%, but it's not grossing you out. You can't even see his eyes. It's eye holes.
Then we don't have to make eye contact. That's perfect.
He might be making eye contact the whole time. He could be staring at your
It's not my perspective, though.
And notice it's a he. I'm such a sexist.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
You bastard.
Couldn't it be she? Huh. She's staring at your crotch the whole time.
You have to look at the width of their hips and be like, I think that skeleton belonged to a her at some point.
He's like, no, but thank you. You're like, you have wonderful childbearing hips for a man. They're beautiful.
Huh. So I wanted to go back.
Go ahead.
I wanted to go back to the list, actually, and do the same thing for race.
Ooh, okay. Ooh,
so black or white.
Good.
Which is limiting, but...
Now, see, I feel bad because I'm going to go with what I think now for the black and white thing. Because I'm going to, like, picture a black woman as a manager or something. Because I've seen, like, that's a new thing. Like, everyone's like, listen, not that it's new, but it's new in commercials. It's new in society. It's new in pictures and magazines. Which is what... Go ahead. I'll explain later. Go ahead.
You're looking at the postcard with has like, you know...
Yes.
The white, the Asian, the Indian, the black, and like...
Yes. 100%.
Diversity. Everyone wants diversity.
Right. You know, the picture of everyone in college laughing and having a good time. Yeah. And it's like literally
Come
every
to our
race.
College. We have hot women and every nationality.
Race and every nationality. Right. But I feel like that's a sign of the times. I feel like you wouldn't see a commercial for... Cheerios, isn't that the company that just had the gay couple? It's like two guys are like, it's dad and dad, and like it has like an uproar in the community because how could gay dads be happy? And like it's like, whoa, who cares?
I didn't see that one, but I'll believe you.
Yeah, I think it was Cheerios like a year ago, but like it's new to pop culture commercials. But good. I'm sorry. So I'm grading on that.
Yeah, some of these are I made them for sex. So homemaker probably doesn't matter, but.
I still think it's a white guy. Like he's got that belt and stuff. I don't know.
It's white or black, not sex.
Oh, excuse me. It's white. It's like this wine. It's a white.
Caregiver.
Black. That sounds weird.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Go ahead. I've never really thought about it.
I'm kind of...
And you're asking me to picture it. Rapid fire. So if everyone in the podcast thinks I only think black...
He's not racist. I know
man
him.
Or women.
I know him. He's not racist.
I know him. He's not... Because I know him, he's unable to be a racist.
Athlete?
Black. I think of more sports. I mean, hockey? Yeah.
Wayne Simmons is pretty good. Not gonna lie.
So is PK. PK is ridiculous.
Yeah. And I'm not even talking about the ones that are actually sports that are proliferated. Breadwinner?
White.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it's like that the businessy man. I said man again. I know you're not asking for it, but that's what I'm picturing. The guy with the suit. It's like he's a white
There's
guy.
Definitely a financial bias towards like white, which you're going to see in the next ones. Scientist?
Sure. White.
Intellectual?
Think white, but like sometimes I think like I'll say white.
I think you're going to flip on the next one.
Okay, go ahead.
Spiritual leader?
Black. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, you get like the...
He's got soul, brother.
Yeah.
I got you. And he's caring about your soul.
Manager?
Black again. Yeah. Black again.
But writer?
I know that sounds white. You asked me to picture them at random.
Were you going to say something about group leader? Manager? That sounds like...
I wouldn't have said manager black years ago, but I feel like now,
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. I could see anybody, actually. Reporter. Yeah. Diversity.
White. Hold on. In the field? 50, in the field? 50, asking 50, questions? 50. Yeah. You haven't been able to give me 50-50 on any of these, and now you give me...
I know. It's
bogus.
Okay. That's okay. That's the best part. Muse.
Black. Does that sound weird?
No. I can see
it's
that.
It's a woman.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
That's because we're biased. Lovers. Yeah. Lover. I said S, but...
I think black.
Huh.
Yeah.
And with creator, one who creates.
I almost want to say black.
And God. And God.
White.
Yeah, I guess this is whatever. Some of those questions are like, not whatever you are, and then other ones are whatever you are.
Well, I'm picturing we're making a TV show. What is the creator? What is the house guy? What is the breadwinner going to be? And I'm just picturing what I'm probably going to see the most. That's why I think it's different than what I grew up thinking.
Yeah.
I will give Hollywood credit. They've also changed the lines a little bit. I'd say it isn't even yet, obviously. Mm-hmm. But before, like I said, with the Cheerios commercial, like people were flipping out when it was like two dads.
Yeah, I feel like that's older people. Like older people flip out about stupid stuff.
100%. But that's not the point. The point is, even if it's just older people, that doesn't explain why it isn't in commercials more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is an interesting point. So I guess
they're trying to maintain some sort of standard that they don't talk about, but maybe they do behind closed doors.
Maybe. It's almost like they want it to be the way they remembered, I guess, which is understandable. But to the point where they don't want anything new is like
keep the stereotypes that don't make any sense.
And hold on, if certain people didn't have certain rights or weren't on equal footing back then, they almost want to keep doing that, right? To keep their dream alive.
Yeah.
Which is like weird.
Peter
so
Dinklage.
Are they bad people? Sure. Go ahead.
Peter Dinklage doesn't take any roles that are solely defined by being
midget.
Small. A small person.
Small person. What is he? I really don't know his medical condition.
I don't know his medical condition either because it shouldn't matter. As an actor, he's good, you know? He's entertaining to watch regardless.
Right. Was that role made for a small person?
I don't think that it was. He does have roles in like Elf where he
that's almost a cameo though.
Yeah, that's comical on himself, but being serious.
Tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
What's interesting now is in Game of Thrones, I wonder if that was written for... Now, he is known as the bastard and the half-man, so I guess he was always not perfectly physically formed or something?
Yeah, but he could be disabled in another way, you know.
Right, you're right. That's interesting.
I guess it wouldn't be fair to be like missing an arm because he already has a brother that's missing a hand. So maybe... No
double the missing arm.
You can't have two brothers with missing hands. That's just cliche at this point. So I guess it was intended for someone who maybe he could just be like a short person, you know, not
or like short and ugly, like he doesn't live up to his tall, beautiful, you know. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. So that kicks back into expectations. The expectations for what you believe and like what people should be. So now my expectations are, what do you believe you should be at this point, and what did your parents, girlfriend, what do they try to levy on you for what you should be? I'll answer these questions too because
good, you go first because I think you know which direction you want to go. Like I'll say, like I know for a fact my girlfriend's like always mad at me. She's like, you should make a lot more money, and I'm like, why? I mean, you make really good money. That's does hair. That's good money.
So.
Service. And she's like, you should make a lot more. And I'm like, based on what? Like, what? And she's like, she's a little older.
You being a man is what she's
Hold on. No. Well, I really think a little bit. I think a little bit of it is men make more money. They just do. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, I have very feminine traits, like my beautiful hair.
Yeah. It's glistening.
And I probably spend like a ridiculous amount of time like raising my son. Like it's very, like I probably spend 3 to 4 days a week, just like me and him. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Change a lot of diapers. I spend.
My son will crawl up to me and fall asleep on me like 90% of the time. So it's like, I'm the caregiver in that situation.
Right. It is interesting. Not that. Oh, Jesus Christ. You give care, please don't destroy us. But her big reason for me, I should make more money because I have a college degree, and I'm always like,
wow.
Everyone kind of does now. I mean, Plus, I'm still 15 years later paying like $500 a month for it. So thanks.
Wow, that's expensive.
You're telling me.
My wife has the same sort of. Like like when we first moved down here, I'll give you a little facts. So when we first moved down here, she was without a job for a year or two, and I was making a decent amount of money, which was kind of small back then, but still, I was supporting her and supporting the future. So there was a period where I said, like, what if I just like took off of work, and like she could probably support us on what she's making because it's close to what I was making when we first started. It's like she was like, no, you gotta have a job. You gotta, and I'm like, but for that year and a half or whatever, I supported you. And she's like, I don't know about that. Like, I kind of like to take a year off. It's not really it would be by choice, whereas her decision was not technically by choice.
Right.
But I would enjoy myself. You'd find me outside in the backyard on a slip and slide, and I'd be like, woo, and she'd be like, this is not acceptable.
This is pre-kid, right?
Well, they'd still be going to daycare, so I'd be
fine. Oh, okay. See, we didn't do daycare, so.
Yeah, well, I might
do now.
I might have to, if I became the man at home, I would probably have to decline daycare and do it myself. And then,
expensive, right?
Yeah, because it's like $10,000 a year or something ridiculous. That hurts saying $10,000.
Heavy stuff, man. Just saying it. Words leaving your mouth.
That's a lot of money.
Isn't that your favorite thing? Deals? That's not a deal. That is not a deal.
That is not a deal. I don't know how you make
it. Not a deal indeed.
And then you get the guilt. Like, if you're not spending enough on your child, it's like, how could you spend, X amount of money on yourself and not...
To send them away. And then spend more money to send your kid away from you.
Serious stuff. We said some serious
stuff. It's heavy.
So let's shift over to luxurious stuff.
Ooh.
If you're ready for it. Unless you have some comments.
No, I don't. And I have a feeling I won't. Listen, for the podcast's sake, and for Dan's sake, and for everyone's sake, I think I qualify as poor. I think under 25,000 is poor, right?
I think it's around 20.
Oh, okay. Then I'm above 4, but I'm not much.
You're borderline. You're borderline.
I'm borderline. And I pay $580 a month in school fees.
Which you probably didn't need, right?
Probably not.
Pyroclastic.
That flow, if this podcast pays for it, then we're in good shape. Had a hell of a good time. But what I will notice is that I look at money differently than most people. Some people listening to the podcast will recognize this look at things. It's not to sound negative. It's like a hopelessness. Like you're in a hole you'll never get out of.
So that's directional, right? There are people that are losing money and will continue to lose money until death or something awful. People who are maintaining but not loving life. And then people who are excelling and enjoying life.
What's interesting is they'll continue to accrue wealth. Well, I will say, I go through spouts where I'm probably losing money for several months at a time. But I also go through bouts where I'm holding level for several months at a time.
Okay.
So I would think it's bad, but I think as soon as a couple things are paid off, everything's just going to turn around and I'll be rich.
That sounds good to me.
I'm gonna
make you rich with this podcast. I'm gonna try.
If we do, it would literally change my life.
I give you all the money. You can take it.
I'm gonna hold him to it. But what's really funny is like everyone sees me now. They'd be like, "Wow, 2 years later, his whole personality changed." Yes, awesome. Dan, I'd like to say, screw the poor people. I'll keep my yacht in the room with me. It's just filling up.
So down here, Scrooge McDuck as he slides on the gold coins. That'd be you.
I really wish you could swim in money like that. That would be badass. And yes, I would. I wouldn't share my wealth, so don't think I'm a good person at all.
So the question is, like, what things of luxury have you actually gotten that you know?
Google Music. Well, it's free. 30 days. I don't know about that luxury. What are you talking about? Like things you've been gifted or bought for yourself?
I'll go through either cars, clothes, watches style.
Wait, but I mean things I'll buy for myself or I've been gifted. I'm trying to check here.
I guess gifted doesn't count because it's not a
okay, so things I would spend on myself.
Yeah, things that you have spent.
I don't buy new clothes. Clothes are like this weird thing, and it's also cool because I'm a dad. So there's like this aesthetic, like dads don't go out and buy the newest style anyway.
Baby
they wear like 10-year-old. Well, even just, wow, that t-shirt, I think I made this joke on a podcast, says Bud Wise, or, you know what I mean? I'm like still supporting it because I bought it 10 years ago.
But like, one of the best commercials, actually.
It was enjoyable. That's when commercials peaked, man.
That is. Yeah.
Maybe a few years after, like Super Bowl commercials were really funny, but they've since gone down, right?
Yeah, there's only
like now Cheerios has 2 guys kissing or something. I don't even know. That's not a commercial.
That's not a commercial. I can't watch this stuff. Cheerios.
Tongue in cheek, folks. Tongue in cheek. The old curved wiener. The old peyronie's. Anyway.
So, like, would you consider your car luxury?
It is. It's above my pay grade, which is also why I'll never be out of this hole. But anyway. It is a brand new vehicle. Wow. 2013, 14, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's newish.
So what forced you to buy it?
I had a 2-door Jeep, and it was the hardest thing in the world to get my kid into a car seat because he's the 90th percentile weight and height. So I bought a 4-door Jeep. Needed an area, you know?
Here's a good stat. Like all the luxury vehicles you see on the road, like all the Mercedes and Range Rovers and all those.
Yeah, Jeep Wrangler is not a luxury vehicle.
It's nice. It's nice. It's up there.
It's okay.
It's not high end, but it's nice.
Right, it is, especially newish.
But like you get in that next tier, and 2/3
Audis and stuff.
Yeah, 2/3 of all those vehicles that you see are not owned. They're not even. They're leased.
Were they leases?
Or they're or they're in the hole and they're traded in.
Whole podcast and discussion to be made on continued leases. People will, if you have had a leased vehicle, you spend your money on your vehicle every month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not adding to the vehicle. You don't have any collateral.
The hole, yeah.
Right, and then when it comes time for that lease is up, you lease a new vehicle because you didn't put $7,000 aside to put down to purchase one.
Yep.
I mean, it makes sense.
It's one of those traps that the bankers and all the car industry wants you to get into.
Right. But I guess the banker, the car, the dealership, they all bank on the vehicle not losing that much value. I know they'll try and hit you ding it up, but let's just say Honda Civics go in the tank as far as the industry is concerned. They've been renting it. Now it's off their hands. The money you accrued from the lease, if you're the dealership or whoever, you still are taking a risk where now, this Honda Civic's worth jack shit now. The cars drive themselves, or now the new Civic is out in a different body type. So you do take a risk, I assume.
Yeah, I mean there's a basic function there that you can sell it for.
Sure. For the most part, though, they're winning.
Yeah. Plus, I think if Honda comes out with a bad car, so to speak, and there's something that happens, I think that there's probably a warranty or something that protects them. It's probably still under the warranty.
Insurance is everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're covered in every possible way because they own the hardware that they're trying to sell you or lease to you for the period of time.
Rent to you.
Yeah. So that goes to, I guess, what is attainable luxury and what is like out of your reach? Like if you were to envision yourself in the future enjoying life.
Check out cell phones. How about people who make under $20,000 a year, like we said, legally or government or whatever recognized poor people? Do you think any of them purchase cell phones that cost several $100s?
This is one of the things that I live in a very Republican state, so most of the people share like the Obama phones. And Obama phones are supposed to be like, I hear that they're like smartphones. You get like a base smartphone just for being a citizen of the United States.
Okay, I kind of agree with that. Still, a multi-$100 phone that you have to pay data on and stuff. I think it's living beyond one's means, but that is the new means of everyday life.
That's true. That the bottom line has risen so much that you kind of need it because using the internet is crucial.
It's an everyday necessity, right?
Yeah, and you don't see. I'm not around a lot of poor people, but I never see them with flip phones or just talking on the phone.
No, they have smartphones.
They have smartphones. Yeah,
right.
They
might have minutes restrictions or data, whatever, overages.
Yeah, it's a new normal.
what's funny is I think a lot of poor people actually get hit with data overages more than the average person too, because their plan's already a lower graded plan. And just because you have a lower graded plan, most people still use their smartphone about the same every day. Whether you're black, you're white, you're rich, you're poor, you probably use your phone most of the day when you're bored, everything else. Yeah. Problem is, the rich people have a plan that gives them 8 gigs or whatever. They're fine. Someone who might be poor has like a 1 gig, usage. Who the hell is going to use 1 gig for a whole month? Like, do you know what I mean? Especially if you have kids, stuff like this. You're going over. And now, not only is your phone that costs more than you can afford, probably hit you, you're getting killed on the surcharges.
So that goes into perception. Like, all these people have apparently perfect lives, but then they're spending a ridiculous amount of money that they don't have.
Keep up with the Joneses type deal?
Yeah.
And can you imagine? There are people out there without smartphones, right? What percentage of the U.S. population probably does not have a smartphone? I really have no idea, so I'm going blind.
We can look around people who work for a living, so I don't see. Like, I've never gone to like lunch and seen people with an old flip phone. Like, I don't even know if they make those anymore.
They wouldn't whip it out. I mean, what are you whipping it out?
Feel shameful when they keep it inside their pocket.
No, what are you doing with it? You're not looking anything up. I might as well call my friend Jolene. I guess you can still text with it, so I apologize.
But that would be pretty good.
I would imagine it's under 10% don't have any form of smartphone. I could be way off. Maybe it's like 50%, but I would gather it's like in the 10% range.
I don't know. Technology is weird because they start mass producing things and it becomes cheaper. So like as they shrink down the amount that they produce for the old flip phone, it becomes more and more expensive as it doesn't make it logical.
Right. No, but the amount of production, supply and demand. Come on, folks. Econ 101. I took that in college. I'm still paying for that. Let's use Econ 101. Supply and demand.
Sure.
Interesting. Moving on to our last subject of the evening.
Which is?
It sure is.
So I was going to shift into. So when you're essentially like you start living life and you become a consumer, you're really into it. Like, what are you aspiring to? Because when you're going into college, did you aspire to have like a certain vision of life? No, I'm a very in the moment individual. Yeah. You could tell I was. I know Mr. Dan over there, he had a 30-year plan or something. He had goals. He used to make spreadsheets. I think he still makes spreadsheets daily at work of where he can be, what he attains to be, how much money something would cost, how much you need to save for something. Very astute student of the game. I do like looking back. I do like looking back at like my 5-year plan 5 years ago and seeing that like there was a period there where I just dwelled and I did nothing, and then all of a sudden it's like boop, and like I met where my plan was going, and it's like. Obviously, the changes that I made were not, they're not normal because I forced the issue and I was like, I need a raise at work. And then all of a sudden, my plan just realigned.
Hey, Dan, would you say your life is #blessed? Ooh.
I do think I...
He starts crying.
Blood.
Single tear. Blood.
Nothing bad can happen to me.
And that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
We've realized today, folks. Terrible, terrible, terrible thing.
So that's where I was going. I mean, this vision of what your life would be, our life will be.
Honestly, my kid ruined everything. I mean, just from a time... Well, I'll put it this way. I thought my life would stay similar to how it was in college. I have my best friends forever. I drink often with them. We watch the Flyers. We party. We weren't friends, Dan. We weren't really that much friends. I had room for you in my future life. I didn't say there was no Dans allowed. What I pictured
too many Dans is what.
Yeah. Several Dans. Speaking of which, real quick, let's get this out of the way. Other Dan Hooge, who listens to the podcast.
What did he do? He did something, didn't he?
He accidentally bought a goat on the internet.
Oh, man. Is he getting cheese and milk?
I don't know. I think he wanted to buy an alpaca. But Something went wrong.
Confused.
Four clicks of the mouse, and next thing you know, they're literally delivering a goat to his house.
I mean, it does provide.
He named it Sandra.
Needs.
Hold on. Sexy Sandra, he named it. Here's the weird part. It's a boy. The neighbors have called the cops on him twice now for indecent exposure. He claims it has nothing to do with Sexy Sandra, but
he has to keep the goat outside, right?
Well, yes, and this is the other problem. There's a school directly out back of his house.
Wow.
They're saying he might have to register as a sex offender because of this one goat that he bought online.
Wow.
I can't even get into all the details, folks. It blows my mind. He should come on the podcast one time, but
wow.
Moving on.
Yeah. I can't believe that. Yeah. Amazing.
I believe it. I very believe it. But I have all my Dan friends. I have all my other friends, college people. And I thought just as you get older, you do the same things. You just, I don't know, you do them and your hangovers are more and you make more money. I don't know. But it turns out you grow a little more distant. Your text messages aren't answered as quickly. Life gets in the way.
Other people don't watch your podcast.
You hate their guts. Just everything drifts a little bit at a time, and I imagine it will continue to do so until we are dead. Can only hope, folks.
That's a somber note. You want to end on a somber note?
We should end on a somber note. I love making the people a little depressed. Just a little. Well, like, I'll put it this way.
Bring you up next time.
When you were... Well, no, this is easy. When you were 13, 12, 15, when you started really having friends, you would call them, you would hang out with them, go to the mall with them. Like, you were like, friends are the coolest thing in the world. They will be my best friend until the day I die. Friendship is more important than anything. Like, everything. This is so cool. Someone who gets my life. Did you ever, like, look at your parents and be like, why don't they have friends?
It's true.
And 24 years later, I look back and I go, it was because of me. You ruin their friendships. You are ruining their lives. And everyone will drift. A little bit like the universe. Everything's hot, dense, moving around. Everything's sexy. Everything's flying around. New planets are forming. And then eventually we reach static equilibrium. And then the heat death of the universe.
You're just a moon floating around. What's entertaining in life?
Just waiting to die.
Yeah. It's beautiful. A blank void. That's what you stare at.
Just wishing you would go into that void.
Yeah. So we're the Unpanderers. We'd like you to visit.
Friends with Dan. Oh, yeah. First, visit the old website. Come on, folks. Give it a clicky. I like it. Yeah, click it. Come on.
Ooh. Unpanderers.com.
Yep, go there, folks. In the meantime, I just want to say, I'm Nick.
And I'm Dan. And we like you. We're the Unpanderers.
We like you a lot. We're the Unpanderers.
We do like you a lot. We are.
We're the Unpanderers.
The Unpanderers.
We're the Unpanderers. We like you a lot. We like you.
Oh, yes.
You gonna click it?